You've got ideas, you've got ambition, you've got no time, or so you think. I'm Marissa Lonick, and I help busy moms with big dreams and no time. Join me each week as I dive into time management strategies, goal setting and achieving framework, and inspiring guests who are juggling mom life, work life, fill in the blank life. Dreams don't work unless you do, and just because you're a mom doesn't mean you can't still make it happen, whatever it means to you. Welcome to the Mama Work It podcast. Hello, mamas. Welcome back to another amazing episode of the Mama Work It podcast. I'm your host, Marissa Lonick, working mom of four and time management and productivity pro. And today we are chatting with Ashley Connell. Ashley is the CEO and founder of Prowess Project. She is one part fearless entrepreneur, one part fearless woman's advocate, which has landed her to be highlighted in places like Forbes, Built in Austin, and at SXSW. For the first 15 years of her career, Ashley was an award-winning tech marketer in both Austin and London. Ashley's unstoppable drive to have both a career and time for family motivated her to start Prowess. Now she's committed to changing the lives of overloaded employers, women seeking rewarding work, and doing all she can to close the gender gap. In her pretty much non-existent spare time, she enjoys walks with her baby and bulldog, cheering on her beloved Longhorns, and spaghetti and meatballs. Who doesn't love that? Thank you, Ashley, for being here.
Oh, I have been so excited about this. Thank you for having me.
Yes, me too. I'm excited for this chat for sure. So I want to know, tell us more about you, your journey towards starting Prowess Project. What landed you here?
Oh, Marissa, how far back do you want to go?
Let's bring us back to birth. Let's go. Let's do it.
Oh gosh, we don't have enough time for that. But so really, I had been, like you said in the opening, I had been a tech marketer for 15 years and was always in all of my different jobs the guinea pig. So my managers would hand off a project to me, and it was my job to figure out, is it going to sink or swim? And then if it sank, okay, we wouldn't do it. If it swam, we would hand it off to someone else to maintain it and grow it and make it better. And so I feel like another word for that is just very entrepreneurial. And so in my like I said, 15 years of tech marketing, I looked up at all my leaders and they were all men. And if there was a woman, she didn't have children, and I asked her about it, and she was like, hey, look, I decided I couldn't do both. And so I chose to really rise through the ranks. And I started hearing that over and over again. So hopped on Google, found the horrific Harvard Business Review statistic that if a woman is out of the workforce for just 3 years, she loses a total of 37% of her compensation power forever. And this happens to 43% of women who are educated and experienced. And when I say out for 3 years, I mean specifically for caregiving. If they're doing something else, if they're taking a sabbatical, not as deep of a loss in compensation, which just to me was crazy. Crazy.
It is crazy. It is.
Yeah. So, here I am, decided to do something about it. I became obsessed with it, went out and talked to hundreds of women who were in that scenario, educated, experienced, took time off. And what they said over and over was, Ashley, I just can't even get an interview. And at this point, I have this patchwork quilt-like background where I've done some marketing, some sales, some tech, some ops. How do I turn that into a career? Who wants to hire me? And if I'm going to go out and get a job and not spend time with my family, I want to do something that makes a real impact. So took all of that information and created Prowess Project. So what we are is an online platform where we help vet and train women who want to be online business managers. And I can get into what that is in a second. We take all of that data while they're going through that process. And we use that to match them up with ideal jobs and employers. So we use that data like expertise, background, communication style, work style, and make sure it's compatible to different jobs so that they're getting the best jobs possible.
Wow. I love
It's
that
a
you do
lot.
this. No, not wow, because you said a lot. Wow, because this is amazing. Sorry.
No, thank you. I just felt like I just chatted for
No,
I just
you're
wouldn't,
good. You're
you
good.
know.
We're right on track here. No worries. Okay. So you've got this big focus. You said this role, operational business manager, right? OBM is what you call it in acronym
An
format.
online business
Oh,
manager. You were very close.
online business. Thank you for correcting me. So tell me more. Is this role a great fit for someone, like you said, with that patchwork background, or like what stemmed you to go toward this exact OBM role?
Great question. So, to answer, yes, it was a perfect fit for women who have the patchwork quilt like background. Um, but almost more importantly, when I spoke to all of these women about what they wanted in their career next, the first thing they said was flexibility. They need flexibility. Butts and seats no longer work for them. 9 to 5 no longer works for them. So that was number one. Number two was I need to make an impact. If I am not going to be with my children, I don't want to do something I don't care about. I want to work for people and in a company that aligns with my values, my interests, etc. And so online business manager made so much sense because it's online. Like the flexibility is built into the title. We got so many employers before we really made this switch to just online business managers who wanted hybrid work or in-person work, and it just wasn't in alignment with our mission. And so who we have found that really can use online business managers in their companies are coaches, consultants, course creators who get into this business because they have a subject matter expertise, or there's something they want to coach on, or they want to coach, or they have something to give an audience, not because they want to run a business. Right? They want to, like, that's not their zone of genius per se. So, what we do again is take these women who have this patchwork quilt like background, who really love the operations, vet them, train them, and then match them up with the visionaries or the coaches who can really use them in their jobs.
Yeah. Flexibility is key. I hear ya.
Key.
And I love that you said the zone of genius comment here. Have you read The Big Leap?
Yes. Yes. It's
Okay.
been a while. It's been a while, but yes.
Yeah, me too. It's like one of the greatest reads of all time, I think. But, you know, I love that you're providing women who want to step back into the workforce with an ability to shine in their zone of genius, right? And have
Yes.
that flexibility and have that
Yes.
all the bells and whistles of what they're looking for in an impactful career. And yet, you're also providing the entrepreneurs, the companies to operate in their zone of genius, because
Yes.
now they don't have to do the shit that doesn't bring them joy, that they're not that great
Yes.
at, that is
That isn't making
draining and running,
money.
that isn't making money. Exactly. Exactly.
Yes, yes. That's exactly it. On my tombstone, like I wanted to say Ashley Connell, she was intentional. Like that is number one for me. Like when thinking of this business, first and foremost, like we wanted to be super intentional in designing this so it was a win-win for everyone.
I love that word. That was my 2022 word of the year,
Oh, really?
intentional. It
Oh,
was.
sister, that's why we were brought together in 2022.
Girlfriend, I agree. Yes. Okay, so tell me, or tell our listeners, this OBM,
Hmm.
what does this person do on a
Sure.
day-to-day basis? I'm curious.
Sure. So think of it as, are you familiar with the terms a visionary and an integrator?
I mean, I'm familiar, but go ahead and explain. Yes.
Sure. So, for every great business that ever existed, there was the visionary, the person who came up with the idea, who was thinking about how to charge forward, who was sharing the ideas. Big thinker, the person who cared about culture, the person who had all the feeling. So that there was that person, and they had to exist, right? Or that business would not exist. But in order to make that big picture, those dreams happen, that visionary had to, absolutely had to team up with an integrator, someone to make all of that happen, someone to do the work. Think about the systems to automate. Think about, not just think about, but execute on how it all was going to come together. And so there are a ton of visionaries out there in the consulting and course creating and coaching spaces, and they're desperately looking to find their integrator. And so that's really what I look at OBMs as, their thought partner, the visionary's thought partner, not just doer, not just executor, on how are we going to make all of this happen so that we can fulfill our goals and our dreams that the visionary set out to create. So that's big picture of what an OBM is. The day-to-day is working on systems, processes, all that it takes to actually run the business. That's what an OBM does.
Got it. And would you say that the OBMs that you're placing, the opportunities that you have aligned, are these like solopreneur coaches and consultants, or are these more like larger scale organizations?
Great question. So where we are finding that more employers are coming to us and our OBMs can make a bigger impact are these more solopreneurs, or 2 to 3 to 5 people in the organization. And most of the time, the people who are already exist in the organization are subject matter experts. So maybe it is someone who just does marketing, or someone who just does social media, or just does accounting, or just does bookkeeping, or whatever that is. But they need someone who's going to tie all of this together and think strategically on how it's all going to happen and come together.
Got it. Got it. And would this OBM replace those subject matter experts or work alongside them from like a harmonious, like visual standpoint of what you imagine this looks like?
Great question. So it depends on where in the journey the visionary, coach, consultant, whomever is, the employer who's coming to us. If they are just starting out, it makes most sense, in my opinion, to have just an OBM, because they can go do all of the things. They may not be a subject matter expert in social media, but they know enough to get it done and to get 80% of the way there. And when you're starting a business, 80% is fantastic, right? Like, perfection actually slows you down. You want to take imperfect action to get anywhere. So that 80% is great. So if you're starting out, I suggest just get an OBM. If you are further along and have more of these subject matter experts, yes, the OBM comes in and um, in many times is the people manager of all of those subject matter experts. So again, the visionary can go out and do what they love: the coaching, the revenue generation, the big picture thinking, the thought leadership.
Got it. Okay. I want to flip my mindset around now to the other side of the house here, like the mama who's listening, who maybe is like, "Ooh, OBM, this sounds interesting. Like maybe this
Mm-hmm.
is my next step. Maybe this is what
Mm-hmm.
I should be doing. This sounds like a good opportunity for me." Tell us a little bit about the data, because I know you've done a lot of data work on
Oh yeah.
this, right? You didn't
Oh
just
yeah.
like wake up and start the Prowess project without like doing a little research here. So tell us the data on the job pool and why this makes so much sense if someone even has like a twinge of interest in what you're saying to like run to this opportunity.
I love this. I love this question. So, first and foremost, the coaching course creator industry online is exploding. is exploding. I want to say it's going to increase in the next 2 years, 20%.
Wow.
Yes, the market share will increase 20%.
Gotta
Or
step up my
the
game.
industry.
Gotta step
Well,
up my game.
but that's good and bad, right? It's great because the ones who invest in team will soar. We see it time and time again, especially in a contracting economy, which many people say that we are in now. So people who invest in their team will soar. What that means for OBMs out there is, oh my gosh, there are going to be so many coaches out there who need this role. And what's beautiful about this is because an OBM is a newer role, a newer term, there's not as much competition out there. So you are able to charge more because you have this specialty, because you know specifically how to work with a coach or a consultant and what their business needs. And so again, you're able to charge more for what you're delivering because your specialty is in demand.
Yeah. And Prowess Project prepares you for this.
Yes. So, great question. What we do is, as I was saying before, on our platform, when you join us to get trained, we are taking you through a 40-hour basically certification where you are not just learning the skills that you need to be an OBM, but you're getting into the mind of a coach or consultant so you understand the why they care about this. Because oftentimes, when you pair up a visionary and an integrator, the integrator gets very, very excited about the details and the how it gets done and just the tech and the process and all of that. Then they go to the visionary and start talking about all of this. Well, that overwhelms the visionary, right? They're like, whoa, 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 I don't care how it gets done. I care that it gets done, right? And so understanding and getting into the mind of these visionaries and what they want is so incredibly important. So we baked that into the certification and into our program. And so not only do you learn about that, but you also have a community of fellow OBMs that you can go geek out on about all of the tech and all of the processes and the new tools that are coming out. So we see that all day, every day, that they're just sharing resources, and it's phenomenal to watch.
Yeah, that's awesome. As you're talking about these two sort of like, I'm thinking like right brain, left brain, but I know what you
Yeah,
mean, like
yeah,
visionary and
yeah.
integrator. I feel like it's a little yin yang-ish, right? Like,
Totally.
so
Yes.
a lot of women entrepreneurs, especially mom entrepreneurs, left a career to pursue
Mm-hmm.
this. And so they
Mm-hmm.
have a little bit of that integrator in them, even though maybe
Yes.
they're more of a visionary. And a lot of these OBMs, right?
Yes.
Maybe that's their stronger suit, but they're entrepreneurial, like they're starting their own
Yes.
OBM business. So
Yes.
there's going to be some things that really sync up in these
Yes.
relationships, but then there's going to be those zones of genius that outshine the other.
I love that you pointed that out. So, again, going back to being extremely intentional, we spent the first 3 years of building Prowess Project on a matching technology because we knew how important it was going to be that the visionary found their right integrator and the integrator found the right visionary. So that's why we are so data driven and data based when matching up these integrators or OBMs with a visionary slash coach, consultant, whomever.
I love it. It's like a dating app for this. It's amazing.
100%. I always say that. I'm like, it's a mix between eHarmony and LinkedIn.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk more about you for a minute.
Sure.
You're a
Yeah. Yeah.
mom, you're a
Yes.
founder, you have
Yes.
many other roles, I'm sure, right? Your
Yes.
wife, dog
Yes.
mom, probably a
Yes.
friend. I don't know. We could probably name a few more, but we'll stop there. So, when it comes to you managing your time, because you know I'm big on that.
I
What
know.
is the one thing that is a total non-negotiable for you?
I love this question because mine is a little fluid. My non-negotiable is that I give a almost like a caveat that I need the ability that if something comes up with my family, there is no questions asked. I'm handling that. My time is there. I am present with my daughter, my husband, my dog, whomever. That is what is really important to me. So for me, the non-negotiable isn't necessarily like, oh, I have 3 days a week that I go do yoga. It's more of non-negotiable of when things come up, I'm going to be unapologetic that I may need to move things around.
Yeah. So important. So important. And, I think if you ask any mom, she'll be
Mm-hmm.
like, of course my family comes first. But
Yeah,
I'm going to throw this in there. But when things come up and like throw off your day, you're battling the guilt.
totally.
And it sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like the way you've set your mindset with this intention is you like don't even have time for that guilt. You're like, fuck that. No, this is like how this is going to go because this is how it is.
So I would love to tell you that 100% of the time, yes, that's how it goes. I
Let's
would
just say it
love to
then. No,
tell
I'm just
you
kidding.
that. Yeah, I'd love to. So my daughter's one, and I have one. The fact that you have four is blowing my mind. And doing all of this, and being a founder, and a mom, and a friend, and all of and a spouse, or literally cannot speak. My mind is blown. Um, but
The first year of motherhood is hard. Let's not downplay it though.
holy smokes, I learned more about myself then than the first 35 years of my life.
Yeah.
Um,
And you get like the most colds and the most like pediatrician visits and the most nervous energy because you've never experienced any of this before. And
yes.
Google scares the crap out of you. And like, so let's not downplay that you
Yeah.
just like hit
Well,
a
and
serious milestone in motherhood.
well, thank you. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
that. That means a
Yeah.
lot because for the first year, I had a ton of guilt. I felt guilty when I was on maternity leave because I'm the founder of the business. I'm the visionary. Like, how is it going to go on without me? That's how I was thinking. It went on fine, and we hit revenue goals without me. It was fine. But like, I had all of that guilt. I had so much guilt when she was in daycare. I had guilt when she was out of daycare. Had guilt that she was at a daycare at all. Like, there was all of this guilt. And then it was Q4 of last year. I finally was like, I built this business with the mission that women, and particularly caregivers, don't have to feel this way, can have the flexibility, but I'm not even doing that. I'm not even giving that to myself. So I just had, to your point, like a fuck it moment where I was like, look, this is me. And if this business is going to be sustainable and if I'm going to live my values, I need to do some serious work on myself. So ongoing process, still in the middle of it. But yes, I'm trying very, very, very hard to be like, look, I ain't got time for guilt.
Yeah. And
I
you got to
get,
lead by example for your team.
yes, which is
Totally.
hard. Like, let's
Yeah.
just call it what it is. Like, it's hard. It's hard to lead by example because we're
Mm-hmm.
human.
Yeah.
So, but yes, I am actively working on that.
Yeah. It's a journey. We're all on it
Yes, it
on
is.
our different
Yes.
different pit stops, but it's a journey and it never ends. And
Nope.
it's cool. That's what I like about life.
Great point. I love your perspective on that. You're right. It is.
Yeah.
It's a journey.
I mean, I don't mind getting to certain destinations and like chilling out for a minute. That's cool too. But
Way cool.
the journey's the journey.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to our fun lightning round now. Are you ready?
Ooh. Born ready.
Yes.
Born ready.
Okay. Oh, I love that answer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So here's where we are just going to ask you some random, just for fun type questions, just so our
Love it.
listeners can get to know you a little more personally. Okay.
Cool, cool, cool. Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Oh, speak any language. Which I
That's a
know
good one.
Google is helping me do that, but just like naturally and know all the slang and be able, I mean, think about all the people you could connect with. That would be amazing.
That's such a
So,
good one. Yeah. And I
yes.
like how you said all the slang too, because it's like
Yeah,
you don't
that's so
you don't just
important.
want to speak textbook language. You want to
No.
speak like colloquial vernacular.
Yes. Maybe that was the more eloquent way of
No, no,
putting it.
no.
But like, yes, I want to like sit in their living room and chill and hang out, and that's what I want. Close second would be to fly.
That is like the most popular answer on this
Yeah,
show.
I'm not surprised. Yeah, it just looks amazing. Like, be real life Wonder Woman. Like, fly. So cool.
Okay,
But
so let me ask a follow-up question to that. Like for the thrill of flying, like on a
mhm.
Harry Potter broomstick, or for the destination, like getting to somewhere quickly.
I mean, probably both, to be honest.
Okay.
Um, but actually, it would be the thrill. And I am terrified of heights. And I think the whole flying thing would make me feel more in control in heights,
Got it.
if that makes sense. But
Yeah.
again, speaking any language would
Yeah, it
100%.
trumps it. Yeah, I get it.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right, important question. Nail salon, hair salon, or spa. You can only pick one to visit for the rest of your life. Which one is it?
Hair, hair, hair. As much as I love spas. So, probably unpopular opinion. I hate getting my nails done. Hate it. Hate it, hate it, hate it. I sit there the whole time tapping my foot. Like, I cannot relax. I bring my laptop. I'm working. Like, to me, it's such a waste of time. And my nails look like crap because of it. But
You don't even get the gratifying
no,
satisfaction of
no,
silky
right.
smooth, gorgeous nails.
No, because I always pick the wrong thing. I like go in and I'm flustered. And I'm like, what color do I want? And then I end up getting the same thing. And then they're like, it all peels off the next day. No, cannot handle it. So it'd be hair salon.
Okay, 2 tips for you.
Oh, please.
You might want to try this. Number 1, get gel. The gel
Okay,
manis.
but I like clear. Like I like. Can you get clear gel?
I don't know. I don't know
Oh,
because I always pick a color. And the second thing, and not that I go consistently, as you can see, I don't. But the second thing is, I find picking a color to be such a fun part of it because I only pick colors where I like the name and it's vibing with me. Or if it's one of those nail salons that only gives you the number, which I really don't
yeah.
like, I look up the numerology.
Stop. No, you don't. That's
Yes,
such a
I
good
do.
idea.
Because if it's not vibing with like my vibe that week, that day, that event I'm prepping for, it's a no. It's a no. Anyway, try that next time.
That is such a good idea. Is nail salon yours? Like, would that have been your answer?
No, it's totally hair. I agree with
Oh,
you.
okay.
Like
Yeah.
good hair day is a good day, you know. Let's
Yes.
just
Plus,
call it
I
what it is.
love my stylist. Like, I love her.
Yes. True.
She's a friend at this point. So, yeah.
They know a lot about their customers, those hairstylists.
She's like, I am a therapist first, hairstylist second.
Right. Close second. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you more of an introvert or an extrovert?
Extrovert, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell when I haven't hung out with people. And so can my husband, because he's like, you are grouchy. Get the fuck out of the house. That's how it goes.
Go find a friend.
Yeah. But he's an introvert. So he's like, you need to be around people, but not me, because I need my time. So you go find someone else.
Yeah, totally. That's probably why you get along so well too. Like you balance each other out there.
Oh, gosh, yes.
All right.
Yes.
What book are you reading right now?
Ooh, Think and Grow Rich. It was, have you heard of or read it?
I've heard of it, not read it yet.
It was written by Napoleon Hill in 1937 or something, which I just think is crazy that so much of it still applies. And like, this is not a spoiler. What I also love about it is I thought it was going to be super, super boring and like very tactical on like business tips and stuff. No, it's like a very good balance between woo woo and business. So That's what I'm reading now.
That's speaking my language. I like it.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
You know what's another good like oldie but goodie?
Oh, tell me.
How to Win Friends and Influence People. Dale
Okay, I
Carnegie.
haven't read it. I have not read it, but
Yes.
it's somewhere on
Put
my
it on your
bookshelf.
list. Put it on your list. Yes.
Okay.
I'm
Great idea.
re-listening to it right now, and it is like
Ew.
blowing my mind again. Anyway.
Okay.
All right. Last question. What's something most people don't know about you?
Ooh, what's something that most people don't know about me? This is my I am undefeated in Connect 4. Aside from my husband. And that is one of the ways I knew that I needed to marry him, because he beat me in Connect 4. The way he knew that he needed to marry me is because, like, one of the times we first met, we went and played flag football. This was in college. And I Heisman, like stiff arm, his best friend and ran in for a touchdown. And he was like, "Oh, that is my girl." Like, oh my gosh. And yeah, the rest is history.
That's awesome. I just learned something new about flag football. My kids play flag football, but I
Oh,
don't fully understand it. So thank you for teaching me that.
you're welcome.
And sharing your fun fact about you.
Yeah.
All right. Before we wrap up, please tell our listeners where they can find you.
Yeah, absolutely. So prowessproject.com, whether you are the visionary or the integrator, please come along. Then you can come say hello at Prowess Project on all social channels. And we have a free community that you can come in, chit chat, get to know us, the whole thing. So welcome.
Amazing.
Can't wait to meet all of you.
Yeah, amazing. Well, thank you so much for being here. We will put all those links in the show notes.
Fantastic.
And we just so appreciate your time and this conversation.
Oh, right back at you. This was so fun. Thank you so much.
You've been listening to the Mama Work It podcast. I hope you've enjoyed this episode and would love if you could take a quick minute to leave me a review on whichever platform you're listening from, and maybe even send a note to a fellow mama friend recommending it. Reviews and recs help this podcast grow and reach more like-minded, awesome moms. And if you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click that button so we can stay in touch, girl. By the way, if you haven't checked out the Mama Work It website, please do. There are lots of free resources and great articles there that can help you with the juggle of work life, mom life, wife life, fill in the blank life. So head on over. Thanks again for being part of the tribe. I'll see you soon, but in the meantime, keep on working it, mama.